Welcome to the Cumming Nature Center Interpretive Trail on maple sugaring. My name is Angela Cannon and I'm the Environmental Education Coordinator for Cumming Nature Center, part of the Rochester Museum and Science Center. You are here at our Native American history site on the Interpretive Trail. This site honors the fact that the Haudenosaunee for many years have and still do celebrate the flowing of sweet waters with the Sugar Month or Maple Moon ceremony, which gives thanks to the Creator and all of their relations. So the Native Americans had their own methods of harvesting and processing syrup. They were more concerned with making a sugar, a hard sugar that they could store, rather than making a syrup, which was very hard to store. But when they first started harvesting syrup, there were no pots, there were no materials that we're used to today. So they would use wooden troughs, they would use large birch bark containers. Typically they would slash a tree and use planks of wood to flow into collecting baskets like a birch basket or something waterproof. They could also take sumac or other pithy stems and hollow those out to use those to drip into containers as well. And then the boiling process involved using clay pots and dropping in hot round stones from the fire and steaming out all the excess water. They were clever too in that they would take the frozen ice off the tops of their collecting baskets and remove that ice so that the sap they did collect was more concentrated. After it was cooked down and stirred for many hours, they would have their sugar cakes. Now the sugar bush was usually nearby their settlement, but it was often a place they would go to just during sugaring season. They would create temporary wigwam shelters, and the children would help, the men would help, the women would help, and the whole village would be working on maple sugaring during that time of year. But the sugar bush itself belonged to the women, and it was passed down from mother to daughter. It was a very valuable thing to have in your community or in your family. When the first voyageurs, European, French voyageurs came, they actually came with some fair items to trade, like a copper pot and other metal pots. And then that started to change some of the process of maple sugaring. When the Europeans came, the Native Americans taught the Europeans how to do maple sugaring as a wonderful way to celebrate the spring. In Europe, they did not do maple sugaring because their maple trees are indigenous here to North America. And there were some syrups made over in Northern Europe, but they did not use maple trees to do that. So that's just a little bit of the history of the Haudenosaunee methods of maple sugaring. And thanks so much for joining today. We hope to see you at the next station down the trail.